Welcome to Schein Chats. I'm Keith Drayer, Vice President and General Manager of Schein Financial Services, the customer business solution of Schein that helps practitioners treat their practice like a business. And it is a pleasure to be here with Bete Johnson, Senior Vice President of CareCredit. I've had the pleasure of working with you over the years, and CareCredit and you are a company and you I admire for what you've accomplished in the healthcare marketplace. For those that don't know about CareCredit, just give us a little brief info about CareCredit, what markets you serve.
So CareCredit is a 30-year-old company. We started off as an implant organization. I don't know if you knew that, Keith, that we were the outcrop of implants, which doctors said that they wanted to be able to do more dentistry. And because insurance doesn't cover it, if we would finance it, they would be able to do more production. What we found is that what just didn't apply.
That's right. So you were the beginnings of your company. You were in the same office as a dental implant company.
Oh yes, we were in a manufacturing building. It was great. You could see the trucks come in and out as we were talking to doctors about their financial future and how we were going to be able to affect change in their AR and really help them increase their production. So we've been around for 30 years. We started in dentistry. We transitioned. Anything with teeth is my personal world, so I work with veterinarians as well. Emerging markets, anything from your vision to your audiology to weight loss to hair. We're in Rite Aid, so the expansion of the opportunity of what CareCredit does has really had a strong impact in healthcare.
So CareCredit, I think of as you're in the business to increase treatment acceptance, helping practitioners get the optimal treatment plan accepted from patient. Are you a bank or what are you doing?
Well, you know that, as you might be aware, Schein Financial is the bank that owns our CareCredit portfolio.
And that's a New York Stock Exchange listed?
Absolutely. Like you were in the Fortune 500, so it's always a good day to be in that group and recognized that way. But more importantly, you mentioned something about doctors' business systems and increasing production. Increasing production is just one thing. Being a business solution is another facet that we're finding that we're a great part of. Most of the solutions and systems in a practice, money has a great impact on it. In veterinary medicine, it just happens to have an impact on the fear factor of bringing a pet in or how much treatment's going to be done on a pet or whether they're going to be compliant in working with their pet. And in the dental office, as you know, we see increased case acceptance, but we also see good businesses. You don't miss your appointment if you don't have to worry about the money. So your chair time and production, so it affects a lot of different business systems.
And so CareCredit, it's helping customers, but a lot of established doctors, they know their patient base. The patient base isn't going anywhere, so why wouldn't they just...
I might challenge that, Keith, just a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
I have 5 sisters, and I know my sisters pretty well. In fact, I happen to talk with them on a regular basis.
I hope so.
I yell at their kids as if they were my own, so I know my sisters, but I can truthfully tell you I don't know their money. I think practices sometimes try to read their patient's pocketbook, and there's no way that they could really know their patients. They don't know they may have come in and they may have a beautiful car, they may have a nice wedding ring, they may have a lot of things, but can they really afford the treatment? And it's not only about affordability, sometimes it's just the availability of being able to use the card to be efficient in your work life, in your home life, as far as managing your bills and your medical expenses. So everybody always wants to put it on affordability. It's not just affordability.
But if you're the business owner, there's a fee involved in your service, and you're thinking about the trade-off. Pay the fee, or do I do things in-house, and because I've had certain patients for 10, 15 years, why should I offer them CareCredit when I know them?
So let's talk about the fee. Let's talk about the CareCredit fee. First and foremost, you would agree with me that overhead is somewhat static in nature. The only thing that really makes
in any business,
the only thing that makes your overhead go up and your cost of doing business go up is if you do increase business, right? If a patient has the ability to go ahead and pay cash, they should take cash, Visa, MasterCard. But when someone prefers a payment methodology for a doctor to play banker in of himself, is not a good choice. It's not a good business choice. Straight across the board. Takes time, resources. They better darn well, if they're going to act like a bank, they better know the banking laws. They better know how to dot the I's, cross the T's. And as I said, I think sometimes they feel that they know their patients, but I would say they really don't know their patients' lives. What's impacting, what's happening around them. They would know that their 2 children just went off to school and they happen to have, a tooth implant that needs to go in and a crown on top. So, we can't really predict what our patients really can and cannot do. It's not a good idea to be a banker and try to pull that in-house. Let an expert do it, someone like us.
Sure, it takes a lot of resources. Henry Schein, we're a big company, and we've got a pretty big accounts receivable department. And a lot of dentists are SMEs, small to medium enterprises. They're not going to have the infrastructure or the analytics or the predictability to help collect all their fees. And it's pretty much all profits that the amounts they're not collecting would be all profits that are lost.
Correct. You hit the nail right on that. And I don't know if you're aware of this, Keith, but the ADA has told us that accounts receivables are at an all-time high. All-time high in practices. It used to be an acceptable range for a doctor to have in his accounts receivables was equal to about 1 month of production. We're seeing them 2-3 months out of production today. Very difficult. And I think that our industry, to a certain extent, it's that there's some products out in the market that are actually lending themselves to do these kinds of things, to bring the money in-house as opposed to let, be a true banker and be able to take care of the patients, be able to not have money be the obstacle in the practice, as opposed to always having to stumble over it.
Sure. And one of our other divisions is Henry Schein Professional Practice Transitions, and we've seen sale of practices, that pretty much litigation happen over the value of the receivables, because what the new buyer collects versus what the seller said was on the books are 2 materially different numbers.
Right, absolutely. And I've said to doctors all the time, they said, Bet, I want to be charitable. I don't want to turn away patients. I said, oh, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, doctor, make sure, you can choose your charities. You most certainly can choose your charities. They shouldn't choose you. So we kind of remove that obstacle. We take care of the banking. We do increase profitability. We increase the ability for production, and we reduce AR. That's not a bad day.
So you mentioned charity. One thing that I'm proud of in our relationship is we're both involved in Give Kids a Smile.
Absolutely.
And we're both involved in a lot of other charities in supporting our industry.
That's right. That's what makes our new relationship with Henry Schein such a valuable situation. We are involved. We are 2 companies that are out there not just serving a profession and providing product, but we also have a vested interest in making sure that our charitable donations are really representative of our market as well, right?
Sure, absolutely. And just one question, who's going to win the World Series? Is it going to be the Yankees or the Dodgers?
Well, I'm a West Coast girl.
And I'm an East Coast guy, so to be determined.
It'll be to be determined. The CEO of Schein Financial, Margaret Keane, she happens to be a big Yankee fan, so I'll let the Yankees go on that one.
Okay, this is Keith Drayer for Schein Chats, and it's been a pleasure having Bete Johnson, Senior Vice President of CareCredit, with us.